Hi, my name is Chris, and this is part 4 in Flower Education series. And based on your polls on Instagram, today is going to be lilies. I have some here. Now, first things first. So, when you ask your florist for an arrangement with or a bouquet, now what's an arrangement and what's a bouquet? An arrangement is in a vessel and a bouquet is wrapped. Right, so let's say you ask your florist for an arrangement with 12 roses and lilies. So your florist will ask you how many lilies you want, because so we'll know how to adjust it based on your budget, based on your preference, based on the style that you like. If you go ahead and say 5 lilies, you have your florist confused, because this is one stem of lilies. Well, what was one stem? So I just cut off one that was bad. This is the last few we have. Anyway, I digress. So lilies come 3 to 5 blooms on one stem. So if you ask us for one lily, we assume that this is what you mean, not this, but this little piece of stem that carries on, unless it's going in oasis or that kind of thing. So yes, so first things first, lilies come 3 to 5 blooms per stem. Well, some come 3 to 5 blooms per stem, some come 2 to 4 blooms per stem, some come 1 bloom per stem. It basically is dependent upon the variety of the lily. So there are different types of lilies, which I'll get into just now. Actually, no, it's a good time. So this one I have in my hand here, these are oriental lilies. These are the ones that smell really nice. Like fig pollen. Yeah, so pollen one. Right. Where was that? Right. So some lilies. So these are oriental lilies. Oriental lilies smell really nice. They're the larger variety, right? Then out of oriental lilies, there are different types. There's the popular one, stargazer lily, which everyone knows, where the inside of it here is a bright pink, and the edges are white. Then there's the starfighter lily, which is very, very similar to the stargazer. Same thing, pink on the inside, white on the outside. Then there's the blush oriental lilies. We get the table dance. The entire thing is just this really pretty pink color. Those come 3 to 5 blooms, as well as the stargazer and the starfighter. There is the conqueror lily, which is a variety of oriental lily. Those come 2 to 3 blooms per stem, but more often than not, it comes 2 blooms per stem. That's a pale yellow one. It's a very firm petal. Really, really nice. Pairs really good with some flowers, by the way. Excuse me, sorry. Right, so moving on, different types of oriental lilies. So there's the red one, the firebolt. It's not red, it's not a bright red, it's a very dark red, so it works well in like those classic type arrangements kind of thing. It's almost wine colored, a deep wine color. Then there's the hybrids. So before I get to the hybrids, I'm touching the other type of lily. The other type of lily is the Asiatic lily. So this is the oriental. Unfortunately, I have no Asiatic to show you, but I will post pictures just after this video. So the Asiatic lily is a little bit smaller. So you see how the oriental lilies, the petals come up and curve out and give you this almost like a star, like this one too. So the Asiatic does that, but the petals are a lot shorter, so it doesn't give you this kind of curved effect that you get here. It's very small, well, not very small, it is smaller. Where the oriental lily has its blooms arranged like a tree coming down, the Asiatic lily, you'll find it more often than not having them all in one area. So you get it like that, with some buds coming up and that kind of thing. It grows very similar to how the alstroemeria grows, but the alstroemeria has the different stalks right around kind of thing. The Asiatic lily grows very similar to that. Asiatic lilies are known for their coloring, so that's where you get your really pretty colors. Your bright yellows, your bright oranges, your white, your immaculate whites. You get your blush pinks, you get red, you also get your variegated ones. So my favorite is the Royal Sunset one, where the inside of the lily is an orangey bronzy color, and as it reaches outside it turns into a kind of rust effect kind of thing, where the two colors mix really well together. The inside of that lily is actually spotted, which brings me to the next thing. Tiger lilies. If you ask 5 florists what is a tiger lily, your 5 florists are going to give you 5 different answers. Cut down the confusion. Oriental, Asiatic. Simple. Tiger lilies. So I'll give you a little background on tiger lilies. So tiger lilies are a thing. We don't normally get them. The closest, well, it's not we don't normally get them. It's basically a hybrid of the two lilies, Asiatic and Oriental. The closest thing we have, well, why some people call Asiatic lilies tiger lilies, that same one I was just describing, the Royal Sunset lily, the inside has spots. I don't know why, because tigers don't have spots, tigers have stripes, but the inside has spots, and that's why it's referred to as a tiger lily. Conversely, stargazer Oriental lilies, the pink ones on the inside, so it's a lighter pink, and then there's dark, like a very dark pink spot on the inside. Same way, spotted the same way. So that's why some people refer to the Oriental lilies as tiger lilies. Some people refer to the Asiatic lilies as tiger lilies. It ain't really a thing. So save everybody the stress. Oriental, Asiatic. Also, don't forget, this is one lily. This is one stem of lilies. So you really want to get stems of lilies. Your arrangement, you want 12 roses, 3 stems of lilies. You want 1 stem of lily dressed. You want, because this is one lily bloom. There isn't much that you could really do with it. So, of course, I think you're probably seeing the pollen. Yeah, so it tends to stain the lily. So I didn't realize that this one blew. And so here's the thing, again, with blooming of lilies. So Oriental lilies take a little bit longer to bloom. You'll find these long green buds, just long. That's another way to differentiate Oriental from Asiatic lilies, by the way. Oriental lilies have long buds, Asiatic have shorter ones, about this big. So Oriental lilies, the buds are long, it's just green. The outside of the bud, as the bud gets closer to opening into a lily, well, actual bloom, sorry, the outside of the bud changes color. So if it's white lilies, you actually start to see white coming in. If it's pink, you start to see the pink coming in, the green starts to fade away. It takes a longer time for Oriental lilies to open than it does Asiatic. Asiatic lilies take on average 2 to 3 days, depending on how heated the environment is. So heat is your best friend if you want your lilies to open fast. However, heat is also your worst enemy if you want your lilies to last. Change your water, put as much water as possible in your vase, cut your stems, put your lily in, and the pressure from the water will cause your lilies to open. So the more water you put, the more pressure in the stem causes the lily to open. A warm environment, so like your kitchen, if you have buds, but it's just lilies alone, leave it in your kitchen while you're cooking and baking and that kind of thing. The heat helps the lilies to open. So Oriental lilies, once it cracks, you could safely say next 2 days you'll have a bloom. Well, it may not even be as this full, right? But it'll be like about this. Asiatic lilies, from the minute that cracks, a couple hours, you'll fully bloomed. Once your lily buds bloom into full-blown lilies, remove your pollen. Otherwise, you're going to end up with this situation. It stains. It stains the lily petals. It's hard to remove sometimes without damaging the petals of the lilies. Lily petals are also very fragile, so if you go trying to wipe it off with a cloth or something, you could break your lilies. Also, as soon as it opens, pluck it off. Because if you leave it, it turns into this kind of fuzzy thing, and then it fills up and looks like a dry caterpillar. That's what I just threw away. So it gets everywhere, including on your hands. It steams like saffron. It comes off with squeezing out, but it does stain your clothes. It does get everywhere, especially if you have allergies. If you have cats, well, I don't have cats, so I really don't know. I've heard that they are poisonous to cats, but I know people in the industry who have cats and they take necessary precautions and they're fine. Please don't come for me in the comments about that one. Great. So, fragility of lily petals. So, let's say you ordered this in a sleeve. Just checking it. So, it's in the sleeve, it's in the plastic. The biggest no-no is putting your hand in here and pulling it out. You don't ever want to do it. Ever you get a bouquet wrapped in plastic or any sort of paper and there's lilies in it, don't ever pull it up from the top. The texture of the lilies causes it to stick to this. So when you hold here, well, I could do it because it's just, actually you can see it sticking here. See? Now, if this was an actual full stem and a full bouquet and that happened, these petals would have hooked onto that and broken off. So what you want to do is you want to cut your sleeve, just go straight up the middle with the scissors, cut it off, unwrap, and then take out your lilies. That's the only way to preserve it. I've had a lot of customers tell me, hey, listen, the lilies break, it looked nice, I think, but it came out broken, I don't understand. That's usually what happens. And it isn't something that we willfully do, because it happens to me like all the time. I'll clean forget about it. That's why I tend to take it out, leave it out in plastic all the time. It's because of the texture of it. It's not very moist. It's almost a little bit rubbery. So it'll stick to anything and break off. So once you have your lily blooms, what you want to do, same thing. Cut your stems. Change your water every 2 to 3 days. What you can do if you find that your water is getting a little bit mucky, put a copper coin in it. Properties from the copper purifies the water. 1 cent or 5 cents, just drop one in there. Right? Yeah, and that should allow your blooms to last a little bit longer. Don't forget, oriental lilies are the ones that smell really nice. Asiatic lilies are the ones that just bright pops the color. They're both very versatile. They both have pollen the same way. So if you have allergies, lilies may not be for you. Even because I have had experiences where even not customers, just like my own family, so even after I've removed the pollen and stuff, they're still allergic to it. So if you know you have pollen allergies and that kind of thing, be very, very careful. Let your florist know, like if it's a custom piece and you tell the florist, here, this is my budget, just surprise me. Let your florist know if the person is going to has any flower allergies. This is very, very, very important. Allergies are something very serious. Yeah, and that's about it for lily care and lilies, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to post this. I will also post the pictures of the tiger lilies for you. Oh, I also post one called a double lily. I have never gotten it here. It is available here at times. It's basically, so you have your lily here, and there's like another lily on the inside. So it's like instead of 5 or 6 petals, you get like 12, 10 or 12 petals. It's really, really big. Obviously price will be different, you know. I haven't had much experience with that, so I can't really tell you too much about that as yet. But when I do get it, I will do a follow-up video on that video. So I'm going to post this. I'm going to post the Stargazer and the Royal Sunset Lilies for you, and you know, show you why they are probably referred to as tiger lilies. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Any feedback is good feedback. Yeah, so thank you for watching.